faces right now. They're looking at each other with a gaze so deep, so romantic. Damn.
What?
I don't know. You guys wanted to make a way to...
No, that's good. That's good.
Well, we're keeping
Wait,
that.
then keep that?
Yeah, we're keeping that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's going straight in. Anyway, hey guys. Welcome back to episode...
20. I want to say 20.
Ooh,
I think it was 20, yeah. We're at the 20th anniversary of Far Kingdoms. No, not actually the 20th. And that would infer 20 years of Far Kingdoms. This is the 20th episode.
Yeah, the first anniversary of the 20th episode. Of the 20th...
No, it's not even the first anniversary. The first anniversary would be in August.
Oh, God.
That's pretty close.
Wait,
That's
that is
3 months
close.
from now.
Wait,
Is it? How many months? That's so
3 months.
we're in May, June, July, August. Oh, that's like 3.5 months.
Damn. We've been doing this for a while now, huh? 20 episodes,
Well,
20 weeks. That's
we
what,
did
5
have
months?
like a 4-month hiatus.
True.
Yeah.
So we'd actually be on more episode if we didn't.
Oh,
if we
yeah.
didn't do that.
True.
Well, today we are going to do the same as usual. We're going to talk about the last session. And there's also a different topic I want to talk about. Maybe we'll leave that for last.
But first, our guest for the second week in a row.
Yeah.
We have the privilege of having Machu,
Yeah.
who plays Tokul.
We paid him a lot of money to come on again.
Yeah. That's how he's
The
got all
audience
that.
loved him, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
I guess, thank you for having me. I hope that all the royalties are paid through this video. And also, Nesquik, thanks you very much for sponsoring us.
Hey, what else was it? You say Nesquik?
Also, Starbucks, thank you for providing us with the hot chocolate
Yep, Greenway
Greenway-
Flow.
that we
Greenway
the
Flow.
Greenway file that we had to pay for. But thank you for the sponsor.
And you got filled up, though. She filled you up.
$7 extra.
Yeah, she filled you all the way up.
Okay, so
You want to do the recap, Matt?
yeah, start us off.
Yeah.
Well, where do I begin? I mean, before we left off the campaign, we were left with this black veil over Aegis, and then we go to bed and
Stop. What do you guys think about that? Was that just like oh, what the fuck, this is weird, and then we move on?
I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it was like
Is that
I
foreboding
think
for later on?
it does seem foreboding, and it does seem like there should be like an urgency to that.
Yeah, that's what I
But
really liked.
to me, it's like, yeah, we got other shit we need to
Yeah,
do right now.
we're finishing this shit first,
Yeah.
and then we can worry about that
Yeah.
later. Yeah, okay, that's understandable.
What do you
I'm
think?
just I think it's also like the afraid type of Toggle back in Wormwood with the
Weirdwood.
Weirdwood with the place where we prioritized too many quests and then came back to the
Oh no,
children
that
and
was
they're all past.
what was it? Brunwick.
Brunwick?
Where we went to the notice board.
Yeah.
So context.
Oh.
Back when it was the OG3 Snow, Tokul, and Sieg, we ran across this notice board in a town that had all these jobs on it. And we were pretty poor, so we're like, oh, we're taking all of these jobs, all right? And we're going to go to all the closest ones to get the money from that, and we're going to leave this big one, which was like children going missing in this town, for last, because that was like 3 days travel away. And then we did all the jobs, and then we did that one, and that was when the only place took place, and all the children were gone, and people were like, hey, why didn't you come sooner? We put that notice up like a week ago.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Saving
we're
some cats in the
hustling.
tree.
We're hustling, okay? Get up our shit.
So I think it was like another I guess like the way the party will handle this is very interesting to me.
Yeah,
But there's obviously new people.
I get what you're
Party
saying,
members.
though, with that, is like,
Should
you're,
we
you're,
leave
you're,
this
you're
to the
afraid
last
that
minute?
the party is prioritizing something that is not as important than
Yeah.
this thing that's happening, this black veil.
Yeah, but I think it's still very important, like what we're doing now, considering how much time we have left in Korea. So
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a reminder, right?
yeah,
Like, that shit's still going on, and, like, time just hasn't stopped. and
Exactly.
shit's still going on.
Exactly.
I mean, regardless of what you do, something else is going to happen on, like, the other side of the
Exactly.
world that may or may not affect you, right?
Mm.
So it's just like, hey, stuff's happening. This is my reminder. You can keep doing whatever, but stuff is still happening. Just to be clear, D&D is D&D. It's not just a game.
yeah, 100%.
And even if we had left that day, we wouldn't get there until, like, 3, 4, 5 months from when we left.
Yeah.
So we'd be a couple months late anyway. So don't feel too bad if shit goes down and we're not there.
Well, it's not going to be our problem. That's all we're going to say.
I mean,
hopefully.
if you think about the political ramifications of the capital of some big old kingdom going down, it's like, well,
really.
Now the Ubanians are going to start winning, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, stuff is going to start moving.
No, but that's Ryan's
towards...
problem. That's Ryan. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
sort
Ryan's
that out.
problem.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna sort out the Albania. That's right.
And Ryan's still in the party, so he's
Yeah, but he'll go. He'll go and he'll
You
get
hear that,
like
Ryan?
godly powers and he'll go full Rambo, full gorilla mode on them. That's fine. He'll handle it.
he'll go assassinate the emperor, become the new emperor or something. Who knows?
It'll be fine.
Yes.
It'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, because when they're done with Denethor, guess where they're going next?
They're gonna Huria. But by then we'll be in the ancient jungle. And then after they come to the ancient jungle, we'll be in Ivory Vale. And after Ivory Vale, we'll be in the Crescent Isles. So we're good. We're one step ahead of them.
Always one step ahead of them.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Just asking how you'd feel about that, but it's good. It's good. You guys kind of thought about it, and I thought about it, and now everything's great. Next.
So it comes to the day of the dinner, and the Blood Brothers set off on each and every person's, I guess, errand to run, and so we get split into groups, and obviously Snow goes and helps his master with helping set up the tables. He makes up to about 80 tables in 10 to 11 hours, so that's pretty good.
He's that good.
It's pretty fast.
Him and his team of carpenters, and they got the assembly line going. Like one guy's sawing the logs, and the other one's like sticking their things together.
I felt so embarrassed.
Hammerhead kid. Anyway, we'll get to the kid. We'll get to the kid. Don't worry about it.
Oh god. And Ryan helps butcher our fuck off huge crab, an abyssal crab.
He maims the crab.
Yeah, he makes that crab a cripple. That's a cripple crab.
Even though it was in a cage, I think cutting off the claws of the crab, it's a bit like too far, you know? You just he had like a crossbow, you could have just nicked it right in the head.
To be honest,
maybe it's fresher that way, you know?
I
if
think
you cut off the limbs while it's alive, it's still fresh.
I understand that, but it's not humane.
No one cares about humane things in the medieval
Well,
world.
Ryan doesn't, for sure.
Anyways, I probably don't want to be criticized on how I'm thinking.
No, drop a bomb!
Oh, well,
Drop
I'm
a
just
bomb.
thinking...
We haven't had big bombs
I'm
in a
just
while.
thinking it's okay to kill a crab like
What?
that.
No way.
Crabs aren't people.
Hey,
Crabs don't deserve
even
more.
though we're in a fantasy land and everything's a bit more barbaric, doesn't mean you can be mean to crabs,
Here's
okay?
my thing.
Here's big fuck off monster
Here
crabs.
is my defense on this. I've been watching a lot of catch and cooks, so they kill things on the spot. But there's this YouTuber called Fisherman's Life. Sponsor us if you see us. Anyway, so
He's never gonna see
Life.
this. He's never gonna see this.
Fisherman's Life. He goes on an adventure to find crabs, and his humane way of just having crabs, like he was like, oh, I can't get crabs today, so I'm gonna fish for rockfish, but I'll get some crab claws. He caught a crab. Instead of taking the whole crab with him, he snapped off the claws of the crab and then threw it back in the ocean.
That crab's done for.
Wait, but I think they grow back.
They grow back.
They grow
Wait,
back.
really?
That's correct. They grow back.
They do grow back, but that's still a fucked up thing to do.
Oh shit.
And his defense was, well, you know, would it be rather humane to just kill the crab straight away on its own, or just take it? And I was like, at the time, I thought about it, and he was very hungry. So I guess he was doing it like in a dire situation, because he was doing like, you know.
Well, if he was hungry, he'd eat the whole crab, right?
I wish he did, to be honest, but I
Bruh.
kind of just felt like I was sitting on the side of the fence. I was like, it's probably not humane, but it's also.
But
like,
just
it's
because
okay.
he thinks it's okay because he's the one doing it. But we, on the other side of the screen, we're not doing it. So we can judge him from far away. Because we don't have to, we're not in his position.
So I guess, like, coming from his position and I'm looking into his position, I put myself in his shoes. I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm not the crab anyway.
No, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
He's put that crab.
I'm
He's not
guessing I'm
that crab
fucked
can't
up then.
defend it,
So,
it's fucked.
Even the DM thinks what Ryan did is fucked.
no.
Hey, you see?
No.
You can't take that back now. You can't take that back now.
It's different, because that's a big crab. It's a big crab.
Oh, okay. Just because there's a skinny guy and a fat guy, you can cut the fat off the fat
you
guy,
see Saw,
and it's
you see
alright.
Saw. You
That's
see Saw?
fucked up.
That's Saw.
That's fucked up.
It's a context of just food, guys. It's just food.
No, it's a context of a
The
living
crab died
being.
in the end
okay?
anyway. Okay, well, I know the fisherman's life guy was like he threw it back in the water, and my first instinct was, how the fuck is it gonna live
Yeah,
without
it's not
any
gonna defend
claws?
itself. It can't defend
Probably
itself.
hide, but
Yeah, and it'll probably starve to death because it can't eat.
oh yeah, shit.
So what he
How's
did,
it gonna feed itself?
it doesn't just grow back
didn't think
overnight.
about that.
It
I
doesn't
didn't
just grow. It takes a long time. And normally when crabs lose their claws, it's just one claw. So they have the other claw, right? And then the other one grows back while the other one does all the work. But if he has no claws, how are you gonna eat?
I might need to rewatch the video because maybe it was just one claw, but I could be wrong. But it still wouldn't change anything because the fact still stands that it's pretty inhumane to take a
Exactly.
crab's leg.
So
crab's
regardless of the size of the crab, taking off its claws is inhumane, whether or not if it's gonna die in the next couple of hours or not.
Yeah, but we didn't throw the crab back into the sea. You guys ate that crab.
we ate
Oh,
the
well,
crab.
You guys didn't eat the crab. Someone else ate the crab.
arm. Oh yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Anyway, he butchered a big crab.
Yeah.
That's the point.
So yeah, anyways, the inhumane part of that, we can skip over that now. And so now Maple wanted to, well, he had to entertain a traveling circus. So there's a huge favor that Ty asked.
He had to like organize entertainment with the traveling. I don't
Yeah.
know why it fell to him for entertainment. Was that like
I just think Ty
was that like a pre-agreed
No.
thing? Because that just came out of
I
nowhere.
kind of like that throw off. I wanted to see
Because
what Maple could do.
Lewis said like, okay, Maple, you're gonna go and sort out the entertainment, and Lachlan was like, yeah, I'll do that. I was like, huh? Wait, what?
Wait, was that actually the conversation? Because I
I
remember
felt
saying,
like it was a bit. I don't know if Lachlan was like, oh, okay, but it did feel like he just went along with it. So I was like, oh wait, did they discuss this beforehand? I don't remember like any discussion being.
No, there wasn't. I think
No,
Lachlan was
because-
just like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I remember the conversation was Lewis will handle the entertainment with the Charm Guild, the Charm and Harm Guild.
That's true.
Yeah, and then
You
all
already
of a
did
sudden
that, yeah.
there's like
A
there's a
circus.
circus there out of nowhere.
I think it was pretty cool. Maybe Ty was organizing that, but it was really cool to see Maple's like
We'll talk about Ty later.
idea.
We got something to talk about later.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Storm and Toke will go to see Nostra.
I think this is mostly Storm being like, hey,
Start an orphanage.
yeah, let's make an orphanage. And then Nosh was like, huh? What?
This is another one of
Here's some money. You go make an orphanage.
This is
I'm
another
like,
one of those
huh?
like weird things where you have so much money, and you just take it and do stuff with it.
Like
right?
starting Bee's knees.
Hey,
That's like kind of like if somebody came to you with $100,000, and they're like, "Hey, start an orphanage." What would you do?
do I have to use all the money on the orphanage?
Yeah,
No. That's so much effort. That's so much work. Like, I gotta find land. I gotta get contractors.
so you understand how Nostra feels, right?
Yeah, that's like fucked up. You can't do that to somebody. Hey, start an orphanage. And then even he was like, bruh.
Like
I
he's
got
got
a
a
job.
responsibility. He's a deputy
I just hand
principal,
out
right?
bread to people sometimes. I'm not gonna. It's hard, you know. But I'm sure he has his own ways of going about things. But still, it's like a.
What if he just pockets the money?
Ooh,
Why would you feel if Nostra just pockets them?
That's a
I
nice
mean, it's
side
not
villain.
my money, but at the same time, I kind of would feel like it's against his own character because, given that he's giving so much to the poor, like, what more could he do with
What
this
if
greed?
he's just fattening them up so he can eat them later?
What if he doesn't get a lot of salary from the guild, right? So he just makes a lot of food for himself and he gives it to the poor. But now that he's got bank, 2,000 gold, I'm gonna build a second pillar on the college and call it Nostra's Tower.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be there.
It'd be
the
like a
whole-
slightly shorter tower than
Yeah.
the main one.
You know what? Maybe
Hey,
thinking about it now, I was like, but I
I thought you were friends.
no, I was gonna say like I'm gonna lead with that, but I'm saying there's a possibility, but the chances of it happening is
I'm
like
joking,
close
I'm
to
joking.
1%. I know,
I know Nostra probably isn't the type of person.
and it would be very satire if it were to happen. Anyway, so
I just thought it would be unrealistic for him to be like, yeah, I'll do it.
yeah,
Easy.
there was
Easy.
still a little bit of
not that easy.
negotiation over dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very easy. Here's the thing, right? The party often comes in and out of money, and I feel like when we're in money, we just kind of throw money
It's
at
just
things.
water. You just throw
I
it
think
away.
in particular, Storm kind of just throws money at things and then expects things to just happen just because now, oh, you got the funds for it. Now do it. make it happen, right? But if somebody came to you with a bunch of money and says like, make a company, make an orphanage, no, you're not gonna know the first thing on how to do that.
How do I make an orphanage? What the fuck? I don't know how to build a building.
Unless there was like a foundation set beforehand. So a proposal like that, if there was a plan in like place beforehand,
There definitely needs to be more.
negotiation.
There needed to be more parties involved with that. So I think Storm
He
later
did
went
well,
to the
yeah.
Cedar, but not before you dump all the money on one guy and
Yeah,
say
very
make
true.
an orphanage.
Very
It doesn't
true.
work like that.
It was just the wrong step first. It's okay. They kind of.
Hey, Storm, you fucked up. How dare you give $2,000 to a random guy and tell him to build an orphanage? How dare you? How do you expect anyone to do that?
I got
Anyway,
75
that's
gold.
fine.
Fantasy world, magic, haha. Hey, Toggle.
Next thing happens. Tai gives Tokul a task to make decorations, and there were orphans.
Classic orphans. I think everyone's in on everyone has their own orphans that they
So wait,
play.
who do we got? We got
We got Tommy
Tommy
No
No
Arms.
Arms,
We got Freddy.
Freddy,
Jerome.
We got Jerome.
Jerome.
We've got who's the 3-year-old kid?
It was
like
Lachlan's
a girl,
character.
right? Like Sarah.
Sarah, that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
one.
Sarah.
Sarah. That's
And
the
then there's
Oh,
the one that Lewis plays.
Gary.
No, it's a girl. I think it's another girl,
Oh, is it?
but I can't remember. But these are like these rad ass kids.
These kids
on
are
the street.
assholes, man.
Hey, you live on the streets, you get raised.
Yeah.
You get raised on the streets.
But they know
Raised
nothing
by the
better.
streets.
They know nothing better but happiness, which is actually the humbling thing. But when
don't know
Tokul
if they're happy.
faces,
Yeah, they were just eating rats.
oh yeah, it was kind of depressing. But like Tokul was like confronted with such a situation that he had to seek assistance from a particular friend.
Matthew, as a player, do you enjoy those situations, or is it just like a fuck, not again?
It's a
kind of thing?
challenge. I wouldn't say I don't enjoy it because it is kind of funny seeing everyone RP it. Especially Kevin's character, I really enjoyed. I kind of did forget about the head hammer, but that was just kind of like a spin-off. I thought that like I wouldn't have to follow through with my word.
Context. There's a kid with no arms who isn't actually a kid. It's like a gnomish old man who has
It's in
no
debate.
arms.
It's in debate whether he's
We still don't know. Yeah, we still don't know.
Yeah.
And he's fucked up, but he wants a job. So everyone asked Tokul to make him a helmet with a hammer on it, so he can go hammer stuff. I don't know where that came from.
In
sure.
return or in exchange to help decorate the
Make
for
the little
dinner.
cutouts for the little
Because it
flyers.
seemed like they weren't really doing much. So Tokul's responsibility was to, I guess, give those orphans a motivation or inspiration to work harder. And that took a really long time to fix.
Another question. Do you think that was, in terms of D&D, a waste of time, or was it just like we're having fun?
If it's
okay,
fun,
let's have
then
I think it was fun.
it's. I mean, in terms of the plot, yeah, it's a time waster.
But,
But,
like,
if,
just,
but
like, having
if it's
D&D in
fun,
general.
then no, I don't think it's a time waster.
Yeah.
It's only when diversions suck the fun out of
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
That's when they kind of drag along. They're definitely time wasters. But are they fun time wasters? Yes.
They're fun time
If
wasters.
not, then we can't.
So if there was something like a shitty fetch quest or like a boring fetch quest, it'd be like, this is just a waste
Or
of
like
time.
if there's like a pointless interaction that just goes on and on.
Oh,
and
like
on
you're just
and-
shopping for something.
Yeah,
These
stuff
days,
like that.
I think these days I'm just like, just go buy it. Just go buy it. We're not gonna do the RP interaction.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it goes for a hot minute. Those ones.
I did
yeah.
like it.
Yeah?
I did like it. It was kind of like Tokul's ability to be able to like mingle with younger kids, because like obviously there's people his age, but then most of his friends are much older than him.
Yeah, physically he is a similar age to the kids.
Okay.
Kind of.
Is it actually the case that Dragonborn are adults at 13? Or did you guys just say that?
Because
I feel like you guys just say that, but I don't think it's the case.
Any listeners outside of the party, speak up now or hold your peace.
Hey, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
To our fans.
hey, the only person listening to this is
There's no
us.
fans.
To our
It's us.
audience.
There's no fans.
Just ask
okay?
Aiden. Just ask Aiden. He's the only one who listens to this. Aiden's like, yep. He's driving in the car. He's like, yeah, Dragonborn. They're
Nah, he's
21.
not going to be happy after the crowd
I never really
conversation.
spoke to Albert. I never really spoke to Albert about the real like
Dragonborn's age to 80. So I believe, I'm not sure if I read it somewhere or just the assumption was that therefore they mature faster compared to like a human who's mature at 20. The equal one would be 13 or 12 or something along those lines.
Is that average age, like average death rate, or is that like?
No, that's old age. That's death. Yeah.
Okay.
80 is old age death. So yeah, I think that's maybe where I got it from, but it might also actually be canon. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. We can fact check later. Yeah, we can fact check later.
But yeah, 13 was the age I chose.
Why did you choose 13?
Wait, does that mean Sugar's a pedophile?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wait, what?
No, I don't know. I mean, like, technically, Toko's
hang
in the
on.
wrong here as well.
How old is Sugar?
She would have been like
About
20,
20.
mid 20s.
About
yeah.
20.
20 something.
Damn.
Nah, I
you
mean,
like
like-
cougars, don't you?
Hey, it's Toko that likes cougars, not me. Okay, it's the
Cougar
character.
is relative, right?
Is
a
it?
cougar?
I thought it was just like a.
In
like,
this context, yes, but I actually no. I think
Cougar's like-
cougar is like a certain age.
Don't
yeah.
hate the player, hate
40s,
the game.
50s, something like
But
that.
I think it also means like a woman that is much older than you.
So
She's a cradle
like,
snatcher.
She's like
Damn.
10 years.
Is she like an Onesan?
She's a
Is she
cradle
the big
snatcher.
sister vibes? Is that what we're going with?
Bro, that's how we. That's like, I mean, like Toko.
One-chan?
Toko sucked on her titties. Of course, it's like that's her pretty much her mommy.
I don't
his
remember
mommy.
agreeing on this.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like,
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know, I'm
Are
just-
you writing down
But
your own fantasies?
Back to
here?
the question: why 13 though? Why did you pick 13?
13 kind of felt like it was a good starting point to see how far Toko would grow in a campaign. So my initial thought when I was making up the character was, how can I best like give this person the most biggest experiences and then like come out like, you know, an actual okay guy.
But what difference would it make if you made him 20 instead?
If I
of
made him
13?
20, that would mean I would have to learn, or there would have had to be very big experiences apart from the one death, the one family tragedy. I would have had to make more experiences. And I guess like when I first started doing a D&D, like participating in D&D, I didn't really have a direction of how
Oh, so
experienced my campaigner would
you
be.
thought that the older you make a person, the more
experience,
the more backstory,
the
you
more
have to write.
backstory. And you know me.
You don't have to write a lot of backstory. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
a lot of 18-year-olds haven't done anything with their lives yet.
But I mean, like, it's just my perception of, like, how I would see, like, how I perceive growth. Because for me, like, in context, in person, like, in real life, that's who I am. Like, I grew from my experiences. So I kind of, like, I molded Tokal, I guess, in a reflection of me in age-wise. Like, I was very naive when I was 13. So I wanted to make someone who was naive. And that kind of grew onto me. And kind of, like...
Good improv.
Yeah.
Kind of. What do you mean improv? That's a real thing. That's a real
It's
thing.
nice that you were able to think about that just now.
Oh yeah, true. Yo, what? No, I was thinking about that. Anyway,
Look,
so
I think his age is when you were creating Tokal, it was a reflection of your naivety of D&D as well at the time.
yeah,
You wanted someone who was unknowledgeable about D&D and the fantasy world in general, and you just wanted to embody that as a character because you were also had no fucking idea about fantasy.
exactly. It was kind of like
Hey, bullshit.
kind of like that.
Hey, look at your face. You're like,
Let me
yeah,
save him.
yeah,
Let me save him.
yeah,
Let me save him.
let me be rescued. Okay, let me be rescued.
Let me save him.
Let me
Okay,
rescue.
okay. Shall we just say that 13-year-old is like near adulthood?
It's like the
Or
age
he's 14.
20. It's like 20 or something. 20,
Yeah.
20 something.
Yeah. That so in technically, Sugar was the same age as Tokal,
But by human laws, Sugar is a pedophile.
but age laws. Yes,
yeah,
Sugar is a
by
pedophile.
by years alone, she is.
Do you have Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm syndrome, where
like-
you get like
That's when you like your captor.
Yeah.
your
Did she
captain.
like do things to you, and now you're like, she's the love of my life?
It was kind of the other way around. I feel like.
You did things to
Right?
her.
What kind of things? Okay, we won't get
I
into
mean,
it.
like we
But
can talk about this another day, right?
Maybe it's like the first experience, right? Like
the first
she was
love?
the first one willing
I
to do that
always
with
had
me.
to
so,
buy
so like
her.
I have to like hold on to this. You know?
She's the one.
Yeah.
No one else can do this.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about Spice?
Yeah,
Oh, Spice was just a
How
one-time
come you
thing.
never talk about Spice?
She was
You
just an
never
ONS.
You never shared a one-on-one experience with Sugar, but you pick Sugar. Why not Spice? What about the other Dragmon chick?
Well, it's kind of like
She's your race,
in
right?
in every anime, there's always the girl that misses out,
Oh,
and Spice
wow.
was that girl. So, you know, she was kind of like the Rem in my story.
What does Spice look like? Is Spice hot? Is she a
They were
hot
both
Dragmon?
prostitutes.
They were both prostitutes.
But are they hot?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing one of them that was
As-
short haired.
How did you imagine Sugar and Spice?
relatively. They're like, like small town prostitutes, but they aren't exactly like top tier. I actually have no idea about this, to be honest. I'm speaking out of my ass.
Think about it now. Think about it now. Make
Okay,
something
I
up.
want to assume that small town prostitutes aren't as attractive as like prostitutes in the city, right? So
But they
it's
got,
like
like,
it's like
Girl
it'll,
next door vibes.
it'll do
Do they have
kind of
like
vibes.
girl next door vibes?
at the start, yeah, sure. But as they progress throughout the career, it's more like, yeah, you look like the type of person who would work in a brothel in a smaller town. So she isn't like the hottest.
She's
person
not
in
top
town.
tier. Okay, she's not top tier. She's
But it's not about what's on the outside.
Yeah, but sometimes you're attracted to someone who isn't conventionally attractive.
Which is Sugar. I mean, like, Sugar had the personality for it, and even though we were
Do
paying...
you know what Sugar looks like?
Yeah, I mean, like, you...
What color hair does she have? What's her eye color? How tall is she?
Oh, well, she's
What
like...
race is she?
She's like 6 foot. She's human. She's human. She's always been human.
I think she's human. Is she human?
Wait,
Is she not
the
human?
fact that you're doubting.
DM. No, you're making me doubt because of
No,
your
yeah,
face.
she's human. She's human.
She's always been human. Like, Toko's never really gone for his own
We should
ways.
write about this because I honestly, when I think about Sugar, I don't actually have an image in my mind. I'm just like,
Okay, let me...
prostitute.
I
let me
just think
some-
of a white brunette girl. That's what I think about when I think of Sugar.
And she's got like
She's
the
gotta be
like the
blonde.
basket, like the hair thing, like when like.
No, I
chicks
kind of
in
imagine her
bakeries.
hair kind of looking like 80s. It's got a lot of volume.
Oh, okay.
Comes down.
She smells
Yeah.
of cheap perfume.
Voluptuous kind of thing.
She smells of like peach perfume.
Yeah,
that you
that
only
kind of
get
thing.
from the desert.
Well, that's why she's called Sugar, right? Anyway, so...
No,
No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
We're not done. You're here so we can talk about this.
Alright.
What are your plans? You ever gonna go back to her?
Yeah, why
I
why
mean,
did you
there's
ever
also-
leave Guildford if she was the one? If Toko was so obsessed with her, why wouldn't he want to take her along?
Oh.
She could be his camp follower.
The NPC you only see at camp.
Well, I do remember asking her to come with me.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You guys
Well,
just
actually-
left.
actually,
you guys
no.
didn't have a chance because
I
you
don't
guys
know.
left. Okay, so if we turn the clock back last 2 years ago, you guys were in Guildford.
Yeah.
And then the Baron was like, hey, I'm gonna test these guys.
Yep.
And then you guys were like, fuck this guy. We're gonna leave town. We're gonna skip town. And you break out of the building, and there's like a little chase scene where you're running through the streets out of the
Oh,
city, and you throw money out, and all the
right.
all the
And then
peasants are like,
everyone was
I do
taking
remember
money,
that,
and
yeah.
it was a diversion. And we actually left. Okay, yeah. Look, I think there was a bit more importance in that scene to ever think about Sugar, but at the same time, it would have been important.
That was after. No, because Sugar was in the previous town, right? She wasn't.
No,
in
she came
Guildford.
with you. She came with you guys.
Oh,
It
right.
was like a little
Oh,
convoy.
right,
Yeah,
right.
there was a
right,
little convoy.
right.
Because it was Sugar...
Oh, you're talking about the Duke. Because the Baron was in the
Duke,
last
the Duke.
town.
Sorry, the Duke, yeah.
And we killed the Baron.
Yeah, because he's the guy who threatened Sugar.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
he
you
took her
saved
hostage.
his life.
Yeah.
Her life.
Yeah. Rainier wasn't happy though.
She should be.
I remember Rainier not being happy about that.
Using the arrow.
No, me
Ooh.
killing him because
No, because you used the one-use arrow. as well.
no.
No?
He wanted to get information out of the Baron,
Oh,
and I
but
killed
you-
him,
oh, you-
and he wasn't happy. No, I remember you saying, like, "Oh, yeah, you should have seen the look on Rainier's face when you killed him. He wasn't happy." And I was like, "Oh, why?" I think because he wanted to get information.
Ah.
Oh, and then I remember. We like were talking about it, and Rainier was there, and he's like, "We could have got information out of him." I'm like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna use my arrow for good." All right.
I mean, that was a cool scene, because if I remember correctly, you shoot the arrow, it misses, but it's
Yeah.
the teleportation arrow.
No, I think I intentionally shoot it behind him.
Ah, yes.
So
And
I
then
get
you shank him from the
That was
back.
pretty cool. It's kind of like
We have another one of those scenes coming up.
Mm.
Ooh, that one was kind of lit as well,
Oh
to be
right,
honest.
yeah, we did.
We'll get to that. Anyway, you have a plan on going back to Sugar, or is she just
Oh
something
no,
you-
she's definitely someone we'd go back to. I'll probably pick her up on the way to.
We have to at this point, right? I want to go back
Do
and
we?
see this.
I thought she was just like some like
No,
mystical fairy that
That's why I've
that you
been
can
sending
appreciate
letters.
from a distance, but you can never touch.
Come on, he wrote a letter to her. He's
I've
written
been
multiple
writing
letters to her.
multiple letters, which I don't
Sooner
know
or
if
later,
it's been
the
sent.
characters that we write letters to, we're gonna meet them. Again.
Yeah, if they're not dead.
If they're not dead. That's a big sign.
Because
don't
I
know
think for the
she's
longest
alive.
time, in regards to Sugar, there was that whole like orc horde heading to Guildford, and that was like the whole reason
That's
why
exactly
we left.
right.
And then I always assumed that they attacked and we
everyone
weren't there,
died.
and then like the city fell because of that. And then you guys like, no. I mean, let's just keep Tokel's fantasy going, and she's still alive. You guys remember that? Every time I would bring it up, Sugar's dead, and you're like, no, she might be still alive. You know, you don't
And then
know.
I got a reply from her, and she said that some dude that like knew, what's his freaking name, Hesseldane, like one of his connections was on the way to see her,
Right.
and acts as a friendly to her, and said, "Hope you've been doing well." And that's the last interaction I had with Sugar. She has not written back. She hasn't said hi.
What if-
she hasn't left me on scene?
What if Hesseldane killed her?
Well, Toka will be devastated to hear that news.
What if Hesseldane's cosplaying as, and he's the one sending letters?
What if Hesseldane has her in a dungeon?
Well, then,
she's like,
guess
her hostage,
what?
his
Toka will
hostage.
turn.
What if you're getting cocked by Hesseldane?
What if she? Yes, she's sleeping with.
You know
Hesseldane.
what?
I think she's in love with
Like a
Hesseldane.
If
total,
that's actual
like a total
cut-
Peach and Bowser situation.
If that's an
Oh,
actual
that's
Peach and
fucked up.
Bowser, wait, hold on. Peach and Bowser got together?
You don't see the comics?
No, I thought that was
I've
just a
seen some
fake thing.
fucked up.
Well, there's like a theory that the reason why Peach gets kidnapped all the time is because she willingly goes with
Yeah.
him.
As a cheat?
Yeah, to cuck Mario.
Oh
Mario's
my
the
God.
ultimate simp. The ultimate white
Maybe
knight.
this is a Tokel and like Peach and Bowser.
Okay, Mario.
Oh god.
Now
But yeah,
what
fuck Hesseldane. I'm gonna go there and kill him myself. I'll turn into a vengeance paladin.
you ever come back here? I'll kill you myself.
If I ever see you again, I'll kill you
Oh
myself.
god. No, I definitely would like.
So she's
Do
still
my best
she's
to
still
see.
an integral part to.
She is
Token?
definitely an integral part. I think like what I first see with Tokel is the humility is there now. Ah, fuck. The humility is there now. The one thing I would say is important to Tokel right now, though, is just his growth as a person. So she's definitely a priority, but there are other things on top of that before we make that an urgent matter.
Speaking of distant loves, Storm says he has like
He's got a girlfriend.
a girlfriend or a
Yeah,
wife,
what the
but he
fuck was
never
that?
writes to her.
He's-
He doesn't talk about
I'm
her.
not sure if girlfriend is the correct term. It's just more like there's a girl at home for me. Is the up in the air. She's not like an official relationship, but there's a girl back home for him.
Yeah, how does
And,
that
and, he,
work?
and he just thinks when he goes back they're gonna get together. Like
Maybe-
she's saving himself.
Maybe it's
for
like
him.
a tabaxi thing. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know.
What if there's another guy there?
Well, what if he's getting cucked?
What if
Oh god.
oh, he has this law that the Jaguar Lords take the women from the villages,
I think
and that's
that
how they
may
make.
have changed it.
Oh, okay,
I
that's
think
retcon.
it's different now. Yeah,
That's
it's
retcon.
different now. 'Cause
Retcon.
We're talking about it, and we're like, I don't think this is gonna work for the narrative further on, and so we kind of took out the
Ooh.
Jaguars.
Future storyline, future DLC, Living Jungle DLC incoming.
TBA.
Yeah, maybe he's getting cocked by Hesseldane too. Maybe Hesseldane's fucking everybody.
Everybody's getting
Everyone's
cucked.
getting cocked.
Everybody's
by
So
Hesseldane.
now Maple's sister is actually with Hesseldane too? Is that what it is? Huh?
Well, that means Ernest getting cucked, but that Maple, in a way, is getting cucked. Maybe he has the prince as well, and Snow's getting cucked.
What the fuck is going on? What is up with how
I
did
mean,
Wait, wait,
Hesseldane
wait.
there is
become a
actually a
main
clear
character?
connection between the prince and Hesseldane because they had something going on together. Not like sexual, but there was a connection between the two because they were in the same town, and I think Hesseldane did mention Pale Shadow a few times in reference to the prince, not to you.
Damn, I don't remember that.
Oh, shit.
I remember at the time, I just thought it was like a coincidence that he was there.
Oh, no.
Because there was all this other snow elf stuff going on in Trident.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't put two and two together. I actually should.
And
think about it
when the
either,
prince was
actually.
talking to you the one time you got a conversation with him, he's like, "I'm going to the capital," and then he puts on the disguise of the king. You remember that?
Oh,
Because he had the blood
shit.
from what's his face?
Oh,
Lucius. Yeah,
Lucius?
That
Yeah.
takes forever. That was a long time ago.
it was a very long
Holy
time ago.
shit.
That was like. I think Ryan joined after the big hiatus. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Lewis joined. We played 2 sessions of Axia. Then we went on hiatus for a year, and I remember feeling bad for him because he got to play twice. And I was like, he bought a model and everything, and now he doesn't get to play that character. But we're getting off track here. What's the next?
No, we keep going.
No,
Okay,
finish,
well,
it,
I
finish
can-
it, finish it.
This is made for tangents. This is far tangents.
Oh, but Aiden, our one fan, doesn't
gonna be
like
like-
tangents. He doesn't like the meandering.
In game. This time we can waste as much of his time as we
No,
want.
but he said the one with Lewis and Lachlan, he said afterwards, he was like, oh, after that was just rambling.
Oh yeah, the last half hour of that.
You know what, Aiden? You don't make the show.
No,
okay?
he's on one fan. He's on one fan.
You don't make the
He's
show,
on one fan. Stop
okay?
that.
All right? You don't have to listen.
Wait, there's
all right?
more.
Wait, no, we need you.
Hey, the people who are outside of the campaign, speak up now or
There's
hold
nobody.
your peace
You're
forever.
shouting
All
into
right,
the void.
stop talking to no one, okay? Nobody
We're
listens to this.
speaking to people.
You ever go
okay?
into an empty movie theater?
Yes.
It's like that. It's just you in there, and you're shouting to the
No.
To the
empty
void.
There's a
seats,
guy
yeah.
at the back of the projector
That's
running the
Aiden. That's Aiden.
I'm
He's on
pretty sure
there.
nowadays they just press a button and then go away.
There's a
not
fourth
even
person
there
with us,
anymore.
okay?
There's no one there. There's no one
There's
there.
people laughing with us.
What were we talking about? Yeah, the prince was like, "Hey, I got some plans in the city."
Yeah.
And he pulls out the disguise of the thing because he has the blood, and then he fucks off
We
somewhere.
never defeated him. I wonder where he is.
Yeah, I still don't know why he killed the Hound. I don't think that was explained to Snow.
Mm.
And I think Snow did ask about it, because that was at where he buried the Hound, I think, near that tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that.
And the prince was like, yada yada, needed to be done or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a big open thread to that. And then Snow gets that old letter, which just now clicks in his mind that maybe he's the pale shadow from the past.
Maybe just being reincarnated.
I don't know, because my theory is, based on that letter, so there's supposedly 200 years that have passed since Snow died in his backstory,
Yeah.
and then when he woke up, like in the present time, right?
Uh-huh.
Which would probably be like a year and a half ago in game time.
Yeah.
But as far as he knows, he doesn't have any knowledge of that in between part, the 200 years.
Doesn't
He
have a
just
recollection.
thought he was dead.
Oh.
So there's a letter that says, and that's dated like 50 years ago or like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
It's saying like, hey, you will rise up and become my blade in the darkness, my pale shadow, and you will, slay the king or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll get our vengeance.
Yeah.
My brother, something like that. And it's confusing, right? Because now, like, people said, 50 years ago there was this guy called the Pale Shadow who killed the king, and then he disappeared.
Yeah, he was this infamous assassin guy.
And then Hesseldane comes up and he's like, hey, I know this dude called the Pale Shadow who's been around. And then this guy comes along. Does he ever say does the prince ever say he's the Pale Shadow?
Never.
Okay, well, I guess we just assume that he's the Pale Shadow, and we're like, oh shit, the prince is the Pale Shadow. So it's like a twist on a twist.
I did think you were going to get that sooner, but then it didn't click.
No,
for, like,
because
long
I
time.
had it in my mind, the prince is the Pale Shadow. That's what he's been doing all this time. So if he's not the Pale Shadow, what's he been doing all this time? Because Snow thinks he's been dead, and the prince isn't dead. Well, as far as Snow knows, the prince made it out alive from the Civil War.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated plot.
Timeline.
That's really cool, though. I really wish there would be, like, more appearance on that
One day,
soon enough.
perhaps.
Obviously, we've got a lot of shit on our plate.
Maybe he'll start getting, like, flashbacks to stuff he doesn't remember.
That would be cool if he had, like, sleeping. And then, like, he
That
was-
would be
he could
cool.
get, like,
Hey, write
dreams.
that down.
I
Hey,
don't
write
know.
that down.
It's already
Right,
written down.
already.
Okay, we'll keep going.
What's
Decorations, orphans, he gets the hat.
They go hunting.
Oh, right.
Big hunting diversion.
That was cute, kinda. I don't know, it was a fun little distraction.
I always like playing the Tommy, no arms. He always has some great moments.
We
every
tried to
time.
bite a rabbit that's like alive, and we went full Gollum there. We're like, why cook it? Just eat the meats. Like,
Well, because the
raw.
kids, they don't have access to fire. They're back in the Stone Age. You know?
Cavemen.
They just eat whatever they get their hands on. Because
And
every day is a battle.
obviously, Tokal really, like, confronted by that. Because, like, obviously, feeding the poor and, like, watching the poor eat is kind of two different things.
He's kind of realizing the socio-economic.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because, like, he's a noble. Like, he
Yeah.
comes from
He was a noble.
a royal
Yeah,
family.
place
Yeah.
of privilege.
So he's been living food on his plate straight
the-
up.
the
Wakes
golden
up, gets
spoon.
food
Off a silver platter.
Yeah.
off
the
a silver
golden-
platter.
golden
And then you
platter.
have him in the wild, in his, like, vicinity, if you will. in his domain, and he can't even shoot a rabbit. And then you see like orphans running wild to catch rabbits and then eat them without cooking them.
You know, to be honest, in your backstory, I'm pretty sure you're damn good at hunting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're good at hunting. So I
Yeah,
thought,
but the problem is there was just like a lot.
Your roll suck.
Yeah, a lot. There was a lot of luck that was not on my side. The RNG wasn't on my side that day. So
probably should give him advantage every time he goes hunting. No. Don't say don't.
I think
Don't bargain
survival
down.
Is good.
My survival is
What?
+1.
What?
+3.
Oh, maybe it changed when you class changed.
Oh, I did.
From
Yes,
barbarian
Yeah.
that's
to
correct.
paladin.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
it did.
why.
The proficiency changed.
It still doesn't fit though because you can't chalk it up to I'm rusty because you spent the 3 months doing hunting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give him a +10 whenever he
No,
goes
just
hunting.
an advantage roll
The
would be
Prince
good.
advantage.
It would suffice. It would suffice.
That makes sense.
You think? Yeah, because he's getting more in touch with the lower class peasantry. I was looking through my notes, and you know how we call it the lower district and the higher district?
Yeah.
I actually had names for it when I was playing the city. It's called the drudgery and the drool.
Oh.
And I was looking and I was like, oh.
Why do you have all this shit you don't use? You just forget about all
sometimes-
this
yeah,
shit.
it's in my notes. I just don't read my notes sometimes.
Drudgery and the drool.
Yeah, 'cause that's where all the drudge lives,
That sounds pretty cool.
and the drool lives in the high district. You think because he's getting in touch with these peasants, right? And before, I don't know if before he was looking down on them, but he just didn't kind of get them, right? And now he's getting more in touch with them. And I think there's a really cool parallel because before you were like the gold dragonborn who was too uptight, too up high to kind of understand the peasants.
Shining
And now you're
everywhere.
like the copper rusty
Yeah.
boy who's forced to interact with these people and understand them and like kind of integrate with them. And maybe you'll bring that back and fucking change your country or something. I don't know.
I feel as if that's the type of growth I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, the general direction he's
The
maybe
direction
going to.
I'm really happy with so far. But like I said, like in the last podcast, it's a very humbling approach that Toko's taking. And this is given the funny situation that we're put in, where you have Jimmy, what's his name? Timmy.
Tommy.
Tommy. Your
Tommy.
character.
Tommy, yeah.
Tommy
Tommy
Dollars.
running around saying he'll bite nails or like he'll like use his teeth for good or some shit like that. When he has teeth board marks on a
Oh yeah, he makes arts and craft with his teeth.
bro, like, isn't that even more humbling for like Toko to see? Just understanding like this guy has no hands, no arms, but look how much potential he wants from himself. Like, I feel as if like a lot of things were confronting for Toko. I think it was really good that Ty gave him that task. I didn't expect the hunting one,
I didn't expect that.
but it was really good because I guess like it opened up a lot of
Wait, you suggested the hunting.
yeah. But I thought really.
Yeah. You're like, I'll take you hunting or something.
Ah,
Or maybe the kids were like,
Oh
let's go
no,
hunting.
because they wanted to go with you on
on the
adventures,
adventure, and
and
then-
you're like, I'll just take you hunting. That'll be a big adventure.
Oh
right?
yeah, outside the district, yeah, something like that. And I guess like now that I got to see them in the wild, it was kind of like, oh, these
So
guys
right
are
at home.
actually, these guys are actually pretty feral.
You know when Tommy suggested the hunting, I was kind of hoping you were gonna say, oh, our party leader doesn't like people coming along with us, but you didn't say that. So I was
I
like,
know.
hey, acknowledge my character, all right?
Yeah, it would-
Acknowledge how my character feels about this.
Oh yeah,
No, it's
true.
fine,
Because
it's
the
fine.
leadership would have been like, it would have been fun. Oh, I should have had like this cool throwback, like this flashback where Snow's like scolding Toko. Feel like, I told you not to bring them. It would have been sick.
That was a fun interaction, I think.
Yeah.
And so the dinner starts. And there's like a bunch of people coming in. I forgot a few major characters, or minor characters that didn't really show up. I really wanted the, what are the two brown dragonborns? Cuppy
Oh,
and
copy
Dump?
and dump.
Yeah, I wanted them to show up, but I forgot. I was looking through and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot about them. But a few other characters show up, like the announcer, the orphans are obviously there, Nostra and Strongjaw show up, a few other people kind of show up, just people you kind of met around town throughout the last 10, 15 sessions. It's just kind of like, a, hey, everyone's here
Damn.
kind of thing.
You know what? I actually think the dinner would have been like better, like near the end. We
Or
were
like the
just
finale?
just about to leave. That'll be a nice like culmination of like everything we've
Bittersweet
done,
leaving.
Yeah.
all the people we talked to,
Yeah.
and it'll be like a nice send off. we're leaving this place in a slightly better place than we left it, right? But no, we're just doing it like in the middle of everything, and it's probably going to go to shit later.
It's kind of what that was kind of from a DM perspective. It's kind of what it was supposed to look like from the outside. Like Huri is coming up to a wrap soon, and then shit just kind of goes south, right? Whether
the calm
intentionally
before
or
the storm.
unintentionally, yeah. Because I think one of you mentioned that like the start, maybe the first 3/4 of the session is just happy, haha, let's go host a dinner, let's go beat up some hares in the forest and meet up with some orphans, and then shit goes kind of down and shit just starts happening. And I think from now on it might just be like a wild ride to the end, maybe, perhaps. Who knows? Anyway, dinner starts. The Primes show up. They're chilling. They're chatting. Nostra and Siren. They start chatting about the orphanage. Siren?
Is it Sidar? Sirdar?
No, Siren is the
how do you
other guy.
how do you pronounce that?
Sirdar.
S-I-R...
I think it's Sirdar. Yeah.
Sirdar.
Yeah, Sirdar.
Okay, it's a tongue twister.
Sirdar. And
Sirdar.
what do you want to call him? You just call him Master.
I call him Master.
Yeah. They chat about the orphanage and there's some plans going on there. And then the festivities are happening. You guys do the well, not you guys. Lachlan and Lewis do the magic entertainment and stuff, where it's the giant ape and the no, it wasn't an ape, it was like a bear or something. Or no, it's normal gorilla, normal ape. And
It was
then
a normal
the
gorilla.
guards are fighting it, pretend fighting it,
It was a normal gorilla.
and everyone's getting entertained and like, haha, stuff is happening. And then you guys start up some new stuff, and then the crowd starts to part, and there's this one lone, sexy, sensual woman strutting down the peasantry lane.
What's she wearing?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I imagine she was wearing like
Black.
this like open kimono, and she's got like this tight iron corset.
Huh?
Yeah, like it's like a kimono, but it's not a kimono, right?
the sexy-
it's like a robe,
the sexy
and it's like
geisha.
definitely like you can see her shoulders, and it comes and it just
There's
covers.
there's a cleavage.
It just
covers.
covers.
Oh, yikes.
There's a lot of cleavage, but
Oh.
it just covers it. You know?
Does she have
Mine
a
was
pipe
a
as
lot
well?
more
Does she
vanilla
hold a
than
pipe like
that.
this?
Yeah, probably down here because it's really
Oh.
long, right? And she's like strutting, like a model struts down a catwalk with like
Yeah, it's like
some.
it's like a lazy strut, right?
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah, it's kind of saunters down, and
Ooh.
Barbos, you know, behind her, kind of like looking
Drilling.
like a he's looking like one of those British chavs, like a desert, right? And he's like, you know,
I kind of imagine Varvoth as this kind of feral old man who kind of scampers between like people just like sniffing them out,
yeah,
just out of curiosity or just hunger, where he just like runs up to somebody, like sniffs him and just moves
Oh,
on.
yikes.
I just imagine him as a hobo crackpot.
Same.
Yeah, kind of. He's kind of that. Yeah.
Same.
And so she shows up, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And there's a bit of conflict, a bit of tension.
Yeah, she was like, "Why wasn't I invited?"
And she strangles
Me.
You, and you actually rolled really high to contest her. You rolled like a 20.
I did a natural 20.
Yeah, like a 26, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
no.
I could breathe a little bit more.
And Ty has a very visceral reaction to it, where she's like, oh, "Fuck this bitch! I fucking hate this bitch."
Yeah.
She does not like.
Didn't like a gust of wind happen and she was like right behind Saria with the fucking dagger?
She is an air genasi, which I don't think gets brought up that much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, I should
can't
probably
forgot.
re-describe characters every now and then just to remind you guys what
Because
they
damn, dude, like she was fast. She was fast.
Like if she's angry, she's like you feel a gust of
Yeah,
wind
there's like
coming
like
from
some-
her
like a little
her
storm
air
wind,
tendrils
yeah.
that acts as her hair or something like that. I don't know. I forget that she's a air genasi sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like I keep forgetting the colors of all the
Tokul?
dragon. Like every single
Tokul is always.
Tokul is red. Okay.
Barash was red.
I
Never been
picture
red.
I picture Tokul as the pinnacle dragonborn, which is a red
I
dragonborn.
thought
Okay.
that was just like a satirical comment that you were making.
He
throughout
meant
the
that
whole-
seriously.
No,
He
no,
always
okay.
means it seriously.
At first, it was like, I just got confused. And then I was like, no, that's how it should be.
Wait, so you made a false memory out
Yeah.
of a joke? Oh god.
It wasn't a joke. I was just like, I just thought Tokul was red because I just always pictured him that way. And to be fair, you guys never, like, really described how he looked. Like, I think at the start you were like, oh, Tokul's gold. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's always been gold.
And then it was like, Tokul's red. You're like, Tokul's gold, Tookle's red.
Yeah, it just goes in, comes out a different way.
Shit. And like all the times when I'd be like walking into the sunlight and I'd blind everyone. Because my gold
Yeah,
scales
that
were so
that would happen.
blinded.
I'm like, oh yeah, Tookle's gold, and then like some
Yeah,
time would pass, some
I'd
time
be
would
in a
pass,
cloak.
and then it'll be like, oh, Tookle's red now.
Oh, shit.
And then Barash, who's
actual
actually
red.
red. I keep thinking he's blue because his name starts with B, and I search it B. Blue starts
Your
with
brain
B.
is wired
Barash
so
is blue.
differently.
Oh my
Your
god.
brain is just wired differently.
I don't know how.
I don't know.
that
Just
happened.
once I get like an impression of someone in my head, it's hard to like shake that.
That's-
Now it's a bit of a meme. I just say it as I know
Yeah.
Tookle's not
I
red,
know.
but I just say it as a meme. But before it was just like it's
so it was
Tookle's red.
actually legit.
Tookle's
Oh my
red,
God.
and then whenever you would say he's gold or he's copper, I would have like cognitive dissonance. It was like that's not how it's supposed to be.
it's
My head doesn't say he's gold. He's red.
Interesting, guys.
Anyway, so it's Toggle red.
No, he's gold. I mean,
not?
oh fuck, he's copper.
You don't even remember.
He's copper.
He's different now. Anyway,
He's got no pupils. Remember?
No,
I told you
did
guys
say
he
that,
had
but
white
what do
eyes.
Oh,
he has
yeah.
white eyes, so he looks blind.
He looks blind,
but he's not blind.
but he's not
You
blind.
should play into that. He's like, hey, Mister, you look blind. You should.
Yeah, yeah. You should make the NPCs be like. "Why
So
do you have
so
no
it's just like
pupils?"
white, just
It's like
full white,
glazed over, like white.
Like
or does
he's
it look
dead?
like his eyes are like you know how a blind
Yeah,
person's
blind
eye-
people
they're, like,
with
kind
the
of gray,
little
faded.
grayish. You can see the pupil, but it's not really.
It's like very clouded.
Yes.
Why is that? Why is that?
Why is that?
Because when you like,
What's that design choice?
I didn't have one.
Yeah, it looks
There's
cool.
none there.
It looks cool.
It looked cool
Looks
at
cool.
the time, and I
That's-
remember like thinking back. I'm like, how do I bamboozle everyone that Toko's really dead? And I'm like, how do I make it like insanely like I can't believe he's alive? So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make his eyes white because like that's the fastest change you could make.
I know
for a
you
character.
said like his pupil, like he doesn't have pupils, but I never remember you saying like, "Oh, hey guys, Toggle's dead. Look at his eyes; they're white."
No, I never said that. That's the thing. I kind of like made it an appearance choice to make it a statement that Tokol was dead and is alive again.
Oh, okay, so that was just
It's like,
like
it's
in
like
your
a
head.
ghost, like a ghost Tokol.
Right.
That's the type of thing I wanted.
Ooh, Ghost Tokol.
Because initially,
Ghost.
I wanted him black. I wanted him black because of the ashes and
The
stuff.
the eyes black or
The
Tokol would be
scales.
black?
The scales.
Why didn't
black.
you make him black?
Because
It could be
cooler.
Tokol the Black, the Onyx Dragon.
It sounded.
Hey, Tokol's black now.
In my Wait, don't make such a decision.
Ooh, the obsidian
My
dragon.
thought
Ooh.
process was because under all that ash and charcoal, he would have somewhat a permanent like color to him or a discolor to him, which was going to be black. But then I thought about it. I was like, what's a much more closer way to say gold? But he's like resurrected, but like in a more grungy and like grotesque way. I'm like, okay, I make a bronze, like copperish, and that's what I went with.
Like an ashy gold.
Oh,
Okay.
now I'm kind of liking the Onyx, Onyx
shit.
Tokol now.
He looks kind of cool in my headcanon now, to be honest.
And the shine, I'm imagining there's a shine.
Guys, I chose
And
the
it's like-
color
it's like-
already.
it's like-
Stop.
Ooh,
What?
yeah.
Ooh, that's
Guys, I
kinda
chose the
cool.
color already.
You want
Stop
to die
it.
again? We can change
No,
it.
no, no, no. I don't want to die again, please.
Oh.
No one has
What if he
Revivify.
was like red and black? He had
Oh
like
my
black
God.
Oh, like one arm is just like
Yeah.
Guys, why are you guys getting
Ooh,
chills
I'm
on your
kinda
body?
giddy.
How can I
I'm
fix
kinda giddy.
this? How can I fix this? There's no customization screen we can just pull up for
It's called
Tokol.
death.
I'm not gonna kill him again.
What if?
Yeah.
Whoa, would you think it would be possible in the world, in the in-game world, for a Dragon Ball to dye their scales, or would they just need to paint over? Would there be
It
like
wouldn't stick, though,
they would
right?
like inject
Tradition?
it, and then like their scale follicles would like change their scales, or the scales would pop off, and then the new
Ooh,
scale.
Do Dragon
would...
Ball shed?
No, there's no way that we shed, bro. There's no way.
Well,
Like, how?
snakes molt.
Yeah.
We're a dragon.
Wait, do lizards?
Do
shed?
dragons mold?
I have no idea.
I know at least snakes do.
Yeah, snakes definitely.
What were dragons?
Dragons don't exist, so we don't know.
Ah, true.
That'd be kind of cool.
I know in some fantasy worlds, dragons do shed their skin.
Yeah.
Or maybe
What
maybe
about
I'm thinking,
scales?
maybe I'm thinking of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets where he finds that snake skin.
Oh, with the massive
Yeah, it
fucking
was
snake skin.
amazing.
That was sick. It's kind of like Skyrim, you know, the face changer, the face sculptor. Just find one of those guys
Right.
down in the sewers of
Yeah.
Riften.
Never played Skyrim.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you don't like single player games.
At the time, yeah.
Well, you should go back and play that. Anyway, back on topic.
Oh shit! Right.
He wrenches the arm. Actually, real quick, I never really remember the small details of you guys' characters. You guys should remind me of that because you know Tokul has a big scar going down his face.
Yes, but
I
I do forget that though
Yeah, I
because
forget
it's
that.
it's not. Okay, let's go through it.
I never
in your
really-
head?
What does Tokul look
What
like?
does Tokul look like? Okay,
Now?
and I won't say anything.
Now?
I won't say yes.
Okay. Well, now that the stage is mine and there's no one gonna say he's red or blue or black. Fucking rainbow Tokul.
We're back to primary. Anyway,
My picture right now, man, I really wish I had it commissioned and finished.
You could.
Fucking
damn,
sick.
we really should.
I'll just have to find
commission a
new person.
guy to draw the characters. That'd
Well, I
be
had
great.
one before, remember? But anyway, so we'll start from the head. Tokul's got like an outer bite, so you can see his teeth.
So he's
when
got
he's
like
talking.
an underbite.
He's got like a snout though, right?
Like, yeah, it's a snout, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, snout. It's like he's got this.
But does he have like an underbite? Like his lower jaw comes out over the.
No, I'm
like
thinking
this?
overbite. I'm thinking overbite.
Okay, like this.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Not like goofy looking, okay? Don't make him goofy, alright? Don't make him goofy.
I think that would be cool. Like you have like a huge like chin.
As long as he doesn't look like a fucking goofhead, alright? I know a lot of people with overbites look like they're goofy.
No,
Please
overbites is
continue.
when the top goes over. Okay, he's got an overbite. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And there's a scar down his. What was it? Left or the right?
I don't think
Left
it's-
eye,
Yeah.
and it's like from his forehead down to like
What is his forehead? How will you define
the
a dragon?
part where his before like his horns.
Does Tokul have hair?
No, it doesn't.
Do Dragonborn?
I think some can.
We
have
can.
that. I think
Maybe
some
the
have
back
that.
of the
I'm
neck.
imagining Dragonborn having hair like
Horse.
dreads.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Like not like actual like matted hair, but like it's like they're like flexible horns. They're like
Ooh.
flexible horns, so they grow out of the back of the head,
I
and they're
never
like
thought about
huge.
it.
That's kind of.
It's like massive hair.
like a headdress.
You ever seen shampoo ads where they like do the close up of the hair
shit.
and the hair follicles?
it's
It's
just
like
like-
that's how I imagine it. That's how I imagine
Oh
it.
my
That's
god,
kinda cool.
That's an extensive one.
And
Anyway,
then they can have like hair rings and like tie together. Like,
Yeah. So he's got horns.
What kind of horns?
That they're like, how do I
Spiral.
like? Yeah, like spiraling horns that like this
Can you please describe it to the microphone?
from the.
Yeah.
So you would have like a curve that goes towards the back of his like head,
So they're like handlebars.
they're a bit longer. Yeah. You would see them on dragons pretty much.
and there's two of them.
There's two of them.
So I'm imagining like Harley Davidson handlebars, how they kind of
Kind of
go
like
up
that.
and
Yes.
then back.
Yes.
Ooh,
up
like,
and back.
Like Diablo.
Yeah. Kind of like
not
Diablo.
but not that big though.
They're thin because obviously he's not matured fully.
Okay.
Ooh, you're saying they're gonna get bigger at some point.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's only 13.
He's 21.
Okay. He's not 21. He's 13. Okay. Let's get that
How
straight.
come he has a 13-inch cock?
Yeah, because she's a pedophile.
Anyway.
Wait,
no.
are we pedophiles now because we talked about a 13?
Oh god, no! Stop, please. Anyway, so
Yes.
No!
all right, and pretty much like he's a buff guy. Obviously, he's gone through a lot of barbarian training as normal when he was younger, so he's got a really good. I wouldn't say he's got a medium build. I would say fucking big build.
Yeah, he is 7 foot. He's
He's
allowed
7
to be
foot.
buff.
Thick.
He's 7 foot. I would imagine like his body would be like tattered. Like it would have like a lot of scratches, a lot of scarring.
Is that before you
would
started
say
your D&D
after.
journey or after?
I would say after.
Ooh,
I
that's
think
kinda
after
cool.
because like the amount of times Tokul has taken for the
You guys
team,
have been fucked up, yeah.
and we have like been fucking slashed to shreds a
Hmm.
lot. So I would say a lot of scarring.
I have a thing to say on scarring, but
Yeah.
after you finish.
And like he's got like he used to have those holsters like that he would that would carry his weapons on his back. So he had like a battle axe for one. He had like the huge great sword that he had that was a chain blade.
Oh, I love that sword.
That was so cool.
Where'd that
Fuck, I
sword
miss
go?
it. And the executioner
Say it. The full name.
I want the full name.
Divine Light, the Executioner of the Wicked.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's like a huge fuck off hammer. It's two-handed, and it's like an heirloom.
A weapon for a paladin.
A weapon for a paladin.
So he's got that weapon, right? It's
No.
that's
It's
gone.
currently
it's gone
with,
now. Okay.
It's
Okay.
with.
I keep
his
getting.
ivory
I get
belt.
confused with that too. Like, okay, now you're looking for it. Oh, but he had it before,
I
but now
did.
he lost it again.
Yes, because-
and I was like, oh, okay.
Well,
do you have it or do you not have it?
The present time, the present moment is it's currently in Ivory Vale now with his uncle, because when he died, all of the Vanguard took everything from him off his body. The chain blade, the great axe, the whole gist of it. The execution of the wicked.
The reason was that they were using as evidence for your death, pretty
Yes,
much, to
correct.
confirm your death.
So Ivory Vale, incoming.
incoming.
There's a surprise, yeah.
Oh,
Hey, the
boy.
prince is actually alive. He's gonna take over again.
Yeah, we'll see. And so, like, bulky legs. His feet are not human feet. I would say they're just
Yeah,
like.
they're like lizard feet.
much
Does
like
he
dragon
go
feet.
barefoot?
Is he talons? Or like little talons?
I was hoping that
Like
there was
raptor
some
talons?
sort of like
Ooh.
foot, like foot shielding, whatever it's called, a gaboot
A what?
No,
A
I-
boot?
for
I
a
don't-
dragonborn.
I'm sure
But
that-
then I thought about
you're
it.
saying like Dragonboard foot? Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
but then I thought about it and I saw some minis. There is none for that, so I just keep it as normal. You have like that normal ankle and shield guards.
You think it's like a whole Hobbit situation to just walk
Yeah.
around?
How many
barefoot?
toes does Tokul have on
3.
a foot?
1, 2, 3.
Or like one big
Oh,
one
yeah, I
and
think
like
most
two-
Yeah. One big
reptilians
one,
have
Or is it
three.
just 3 big ones?
Well, there would technically be 4, but there are three front ones and
Oh,
then one
the
back
tiny
one,
back one.
and then they'd have like a one that would come out of like the shin, like the back of the shin,
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
in the
yeah,
calf.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then you have like a fuck off huge tail as well. We don't really talk
I
about it
think
that much either.
no, Dragonborns don't have tails.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, we have a tail. On my mini that we have. Oh, wait, no, we don't.
No,
Why
they
not?
don't.
Because
Dragonborns in canon don't have tails. I'm pretty sure.
In
Whoa.
D&D canon or Axu
I
canon?
drew
D&D
a
canon.
tail, so. Well, anyway,
I think.
Oh, they have tails.
I think half dragons have tails.
Dragonborn have tails. You want them to have tails?
can
Do
we
you?
say we have tails?
Yeah,
Because
I want them
Maybe
to have
maybe
tails.
it's a royal family thing.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we'll-
no.
we'll call it like
I
an
like
heirloom
more.
thing.
All Dragonborns have
They're
tails.
more in tune with the dragon ancestry. We'll think.
Nah,
we'll
he
talk-
doesn't
we'll
like
talk-
that. He doesn't like that.
Fine.
You want
We'll
all
get back with
Dragonborns to have tails,
We'll
right?
get back with it. We'll get
talk
back
about,
with it.
We'll talk about this.
We'll talk about it later. But anyways, his armor is obviously was in pieces before. It's been repaired.
What
So
does
he's
the
really
armor
tattered.
look like? How do you imagine Ingvir's armor to look like?
Do you remember what Engvir's symbol is?
It was 2 daggers.
Yeah,
Crossing each
two
other.
cross swords. I think
We
they got
can.
it.
I remember seeing pictures.
Is-
Me and Albert.
Is it
brainstormed
like
it.
I think
just
it's a
for-
big, I think it's a big like engraving in the chest plate, and there's various runes etched down the sides that have all dimmed out.
Is it like just for our listeners at home?
Yeah.
Is it like Western armor? It's kind of got like the breastplate and the shoulder, the pauldrons, and
medieval.
like plate medieval.
That is what I
like,
envisioned. Yes.
European armor.
Medieval.
Okay.
Europeanish.
Okay.
I'd say it's less bulky and more fitted to his size. It's
Well, it
more
is.
like-
it is
yeah,
magical, so it
tailored.
would. It
It's
would
more
do
like
that.
various fitted plates instead of one just big suit.
Oh, okay. It's not like
Yeah.
That's
like
my
a Roman
my
like a Roman cuirass. It's just like a
Yeah, just
mold
like-
of his.
Yeah, just like
his-
here. You
his
see like little abs
Yeah.
here.
And right now he's wearing a cloak. It's all like ripped and holed and stuff. It like kind of like puts it over.
That's edgy.
Mm.
That's edgy.
Kind of like
I like that. I like.
I
the
miss
kind
his
of
cape.
worn,
The raggedy.
and the
the
ring.
guts and the guts ring
Guts ring.
and the
This-
billowing
You guys don't
cape.
have that anymore? Did I get taken too?
Yeah. Well, I remember
It was
seeing-
on him.
I
Oh, 'cause
think
he did always wear it.
I'm not too sure if Snow had it.
No. You always had it on. You never took it off.
Oh yeah.
You never took it off because every chance you got, you would go
I
into
just-
an inn and you'd be like, "Hey, baby, guts!" The beard would come out, the cape is billowing, and the girls would be all over you.
Do we need more joke items?
No.
Yes. For Tokul.
Like more fun, like haha items and not magical change your life items.
Well,
I'm personally not a big fan of those, but if the other players want them, they can have them.
It's just funny to me because, like, I like the little comical jokes that Tokul has with the bag of holding, where he puts like sticks and stones and rocks and dirt in it. It's kind of like his way of like comedy.
Whenever I think of joke items,
comedy?
I think of
It's just annoying to. It's just
Okay.
annoying to snow.
I think of Fred and George Weasley from Harry Potter because they open up a joke magic store,
Rest in peace.
and I was like, I don't want to think about Harry Potter when
True.
It's different fantasy, I
yeah,
guess.
it's a lighter fantasy that I don't think is congruent with Axia's fantasy.
Yeah.
Anyway, about scarring, the one thing that I don't like about D&D is because it's like so, I want to say video gamey.
Yep.
You just take a health potion and you're back up. That it's very abstract. There's no permanence to like combat, right? And I think there are like solutions to that where it's like you take a roll and you know do scarring. And I think we discussed briefly like the homebrew stuff, but it's like I think the way D&D is run, if you have like more of those permanent injuries and stuff like that, the combat isn't really balanced around that. So you're just at like a straight disadvantage.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really, I don't think that is that fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's not like any fault of the DM or the players or whatever. It's just the system. And that's how it's
just the way
designed.
it's done.
And I think D&D is just not a very like gritty system. It's just like you're going in there. I've discussed this before, but I would love, like, since the characters get scars and stuff, it like for those to come to have more prominence to them. And there are like other systems where like you can get legitimate scars that like have effects and stuff like that, and that kind of like helps solidify the
yeah.
picture of how that character looks and their experience and stuff like that.
I would say maybe something like in relation to Constitution, lowering your HP in a fight can cause like your rolls to slump to like slam, maybe a -1 in sometimes.
See, look, we
Right.
can do all that yada yada, and we have discussed some parts like that.
Is that what you're
last
talking
session.
about? Or
No, I'm saying even if you put like changes like that, it does like add that element to it. But I don't think the actual combat
System
system
itself?
is designed for that.
yeah, true, very true. Because you'd have to balance it yourself as a DM.
Like I think that you need a particular system, like a crunchier system, that you need to do a bit more work, but there's definitely like more mechanical detail that adds, and I think that's like the main reason why classes like fighter are so boring, because all the options they have is they hit, or they shoot.
Or they use that fucking roll, that extra dice rolls.
Yeah, well, Aiden is a battle master, so he's got a few more options there, but
Still.
it's still
Isn't that why you changed from fighter to rogue?
yeah.
Because it was just like hit, and you're just. Like the
But
same.
even rogue is quite limited. I do enjoy rogue's combat loop,
Yeah.
but it is even then it is still quite simplistic. There's not a lot of decision making to be done there.
There's not a lot of strategy that really can be involved.
Yeah,
Um,
but there's still more than fighter.
yeah. So would you maybe like something, say, if you fall under a certain HP threshold, we roll on just in like a scar table?
I don't
And it'll
want
just
to.
be completely cosmetic. Just
I don't.
completely cosmetic.
I don't really want to discuss like trying to improve it, but that's just like my gripe about it. I think we're already discussing something to like add a bit more stakes to the
Yeah.
fight with the like massive damage thing, and I think that's a good step. But I'm saying like in the bigger picture, like D&D combat is always going to be just
Yeah.
D&D combat, and it's
Yeah.
never going to be anything more than that.
Yeah.
No
So
matter what we do to
We
it.
can just make scars as a cosmetic feature too.
Yeah, but
things.
even if it's just a cosmetic feature, if it never never does anything, it's just out of our minds,
Yeah.
and we have to constantly like remind them, oh, he has a scar or whatever like that. And even though he has the scar, like, is that
Is it, like-
really important?
Yeah.
Is that
Because he did have a fuck off scar from the stab. Remember? Stabbed through the heart.
Oh yeah,
So I pretty much have a hole in my heart, pretty much. Like a hole
where sugar should be.
that's irreplaceable.
Well, we can talk about it in person on D&D.
yeah.
We got a few more opinions.
Yeah.
Anyway,
After another tangent.
so Lady Saria, she tries to strangle just force choke Tokul, and Tokul's like, no. And then Ty is like, haha, I'm gonna stab you. And then Storm's like, no. Just sit down, we chillin'. And then Varvoth's like, I'm gonna eat. And Varvoth goes around and he's like, that's a big crab. And then he just shoves the crab.
He's eating everything.
He eats
more
everything. He's a hungry hippo.
Yeah.
And you guys are just like, you guys stay silent for the most of it, I think. You don't want to stir the pot.
Snow like managed to de-escalate and Storm was like, hey Snow, you're on a party, let her do something. I'm like, no, I let them sit down and I let I'm catering to them so they don't make a fuss. But then, after the eating's done, Storm goes in and is like, oh, we should do an activity. So he brings out a bunch of knives and is like, let's have a knife throwing contest. And let's throw it at that wooden board that has a bite mark in it. Over there.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize it was that wooden board. Okay, yeah.
And so, some of us throw the knives and then it comes to Ty. And Ty's getting ready to throw her knife. And then Lady Saria says something that Current says something about her late husband.
It's a shame about what happened to Current, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah.
Paraphrasing.
So Ty turns around and is like, "Fuck you!" Yeah. And I think Storm preemptively tried to step in between them.
He did,
but she had a blink dagger or something, so it went past him, and then into Lady Saria, and then boom, we're fighting now. Oh, initiate!
I love that moment because when it happened. And then I just started describing Varvoth starting to kind of tumultuous change. You guys like, no. And then he pops out and you guys start initiate combat. And this is exactly what nobody wanted.
Yeah.
I believe is that an apt way to describe that, Matt?
Yep.
This is exactly the outcome that 0 people wanted.
Yeah, because he turned into a fuck of huge dragon.
In the middle of the city.
How are we gonna fight it? How are we gonna save the people?
Yeah, and you guys start fighting. And honestly, you guys do a lot of damage. Holy shit. I was looking at the numbers, I'm like, wait, they've done 200 damage already? I was like, what the fuck?
I think we did 150 to Varvoth.
I have my notes. I can't say what his max health is because that would be...
No, you can.
That would be a little...
You can.
And then I'll just change it next time. But it was definitely 180, 190. It was up there, close to 200 at least.
So he was bloodied?
No.
Oh, you mean the damage that was done to him?
Yeah, it was 190, 180. Which is...
And I wasn't even attacking it.
For a very high CR creature, you guys did fucking really well. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
I think we rolled pretty good.
You don't even get to attack him.
I didn't. I fell off a fucking dragon.
I mean, you guys did have help from some NPCs, but you guys were doing the most of the damage.
Who did the most
majority? In that one? Ryan and... Actually, you did a lot as well, actually. With the sneak attack.
Yeah, I think maybe I did tops 50, 60 damage.
Yeah.
Altogether.
It was quite a bit for what? 2 rounds? 2 turns. 2 turns total. Anyway, the dragon appears, you guys start fighting. Ryan, does this really fucking cool thing, right? So, every time I give away or I give someone these magic items, I have no idea what they plan to do with them. I'm just like, you figure it out, you have fun with it. And he turns to me and he's like, you know the teleporting arrows, do they have to be a willing creature? And I'm like, no. And he's like, there's this look on his face where he's like, I know what to do. And I'm like, oh shit, this is happening. This is happening. And so Brian in character, he gets out his arrows, right? He puts one in each crossbow, I assume. And he runs up to Lady Saria. He shoots one off into the distance and he kind of grabs her. And she fails the saving throw. And she gets teleported all the way down the street to the other end with Ryan. And Ryan has the other teleportation bolt in his crossbow. And he shoots it back the other way. And he just fucking pieces out, leaving Lady Saria 120 feet away.
She's just running back.
And she's fucking Terminator running back.
With her high heels.
And it's just you guys versus this fucking dragon. And the dragon does do a lot of damage in the first round. It legendary actions, it flutters its wings, it moves up 40 feet, moves off to the side, and it lines up perfectly with Kaya, Ryan, and Kaya's 3 little minions. Or little friends or whatever. And it does its lightning breath. which is 120 feet line, and God, how much? It's like, was it 12d12? It might have been.
It did like 60 damage.
Yeah, it did like 70 something damage.
Oh.
Because Ryan goes down. Does he die from that?
No, he goes unconscious.
Oh, he goes unconscious. He goes unconscious from that. And all the minions die. Kaya makes the saving throw, so he only takes half damage, but he's fucking battered and bruised, and he's trying to throw fireballs and whatever. And the next turn rolls around, and this giant airship, around not as big as the Sky Conqueror, which you named.
It's a very sleek design.
It's a sleek, ornate. It's got like groovings on the side. It's got like little dragon head spouts coming out from the portholes. And you see it kind of loom over the horizon, kind of approaching very fast towards you guys. And so the battle continues. You guys start fighting again. Toku goes up to Ryan. He goes to revive him. And do we need penalties for revivification? Like, is exhaustion? I don't think it's canon. Our rules is written that exhaustion happens when you're exhausted.
I know. Matt Mercer has like special rules for resurrection stuff.
He wasn't really resurrecting. He's just making stabilize, right?
Yeah, but I think in this case, it wasn't revivifying.
No, this one. Sorry, this was just healing it from unconscious. Sorry. Do we need penalties for that, or is that already good enough?
I think that's okay, right?
Maybe for like revivify, like consecutive revivifies, but in this case, I don't know. I would say no.
So this is off topic again, but when I was doing research for Ryan's encounter with Crom, I gave the opportunity to Ryan to ask any question he wants to a god.
Yeah.
And he asks some that are like that are kind of easy to explain, like who are you, why are you fighting back, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I did expect him to ask like how are you reviving me, or like why, or like what's the cost. And when I was just kind of fiddling through, I was just kind of reading through notes and just like wondering like, what if there is a penalty for reviving somebody? And there's this really cool penalty, I guess, because I was just looking through like roll tables of what like roll a D100 and this is what happens when you get revived, right?
Yeah.
And so there's this really cool one. It was like number 67 or something, where when you get revived, you are pulled out from the natural cycle of reincarnation, and you are plagued with these nightmares every so often of this very young couple far away. You don't know them. They're mourning the loss of their newborn child. It's like a stillbirth or something.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows you like a vision like every few months of like their lives progressing, as their lives just kind of tumble downhill. They separate, they die old and like frail and alone and stuff. And because you were revived, you took away life from that newborn child. You were supposed to reincarnate as that newborn child, but now you're back.
Yeah.
You fucked up that couple's life. And that's like a super cool idea for me.
Yeah,
But,
well,
yeah.
that like reminds me of. I know you guys haven't read it, but one of my favorite fantasy series is The Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones for you show watchers, and he has a really cool take on magic. Like it's very low magic, but magic has a high cost, and it is particularly powerful. And there's one particular character who gets revived like more than once, but every time he gets revived, he loses a part of himself.
Ooh.
And it's not explicitly implied, but basically the rule for it is, in order to pay for life, you need to have death, right? So death pays for life.
Yep.
So there are some clues, and yeah, it's not strictly said, but there are some clues there, like something else is happening every time this guy's getting pulled back from the grave.
Like something terrible is like
He's
happening.
not only like losing parts of himself, like it's described that like he's like doesn't even remember like what he was like before he got revived.
Jesus.
Like, every time, like he's becoming less and less human, like mentally, like physically, like there's other stuff going, but like yeah, he's like losing, like he's like forgetting what it's like to like live properly, and he doesn't feel right a lot of the time. He like feels sick, or he like he feels out of place, and he's just out of it all the time because he keeps getting ripped back from the from death.
Like I'm not supposed to be here kind of thing.
It's like when you like tape something to paper and you rip off the tape
and something comes
and
back.
the paper is not whole anymore.
Yeah.
It gets ripped off. Like some of that gets ripped off.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's like when you glue two papers together.
That's a really cool concept, honestly.
Is that what you're trying to implement, or?
It was a theory in progress, but he didn't ask it, so I didn't answer anything. But that's what my plan was to answer with. Anyway, Ryan goes down. Toko's like, "Hey, get up!" And then Ryan's like, "Hey, I'm back." And then Ryan's like, "I'm gonna bring Tokul up onto the dragon because my name is the Dragon Rider, and therefore I must ride the dragon 80 foot up into the air." And in my head, I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." But then in my head, I'm like, "That."
So that's another thing with D&D. There's no rules for like big monster encounters. There's no specific rules about like climbing on them, like Monster Hunter style or Shadow of the Colossus style, that sort of thing. Which I think there should be, like especially for big monsters.
Yeah, like riding on them and like stabbing certain weak points. That would be nice. I just have to prepare something specifically for that.
It's just not designed for that.
Yeah.
Which it's not enough detail there. Maybe when we try a new system.
If we try and when. I think it's kind of set in stone.
If and when.
One day we will attempt a new system when we're much more comfortable doing anything. So he gets up there. People are still firing stuff. People are shooting in bows and arrows at it. And Tokul is like, "I'm gonna get a better grip on this dragon. I'm gonna climb up to the horns. I'm gonna climb to the horns." And what happens? Do you get just?
Well, I just slide off.
Yeah, I think Varvoth tries to move further up, and when he shakes or something like that,
like a barrel roll.
He does a barrel roll,
and you fail a save, and you fall off like 60 feet.
I fell pretty high, but didn't take that much damage, to be honest. I thought it was a bit more, but yeah, I fell from a really high,
No, I think you only took like 16 damage,
Yeah.
which is pretty good.
Yeah. But he wanted to fight that dragon. He wanted to be on the top of that dragon.
If you're a dragonborn in full plate armor, are you a turtle?
Eh?
Because you're like a reptile in armor.
Whatever my mini looks like, I look like that. I wouldn't say I look like a turtle.
He's saying conceptually, are you a turtle? Because you're like in a shell of armor, and you're a lizard.
It does make me look like a turtle, yeah.
But he isn't though.
What a cool,
there are
turtle.
There are turtle
turtles.
races, which is like
turtles.
an actual race you can become, which I think are cool.
Anyway, Ryan, he's like, "I'm gonna shoot them," and he tries a few shots, and then he barrel rolls again, and Ryan does not make it this time. It was a strength contest, and Varvoth has a +9 in strength. And I think it was a +13 in athletics. So I was like, well, good luck. Ryan gets pretty high. He gets like a 19, natural 19 or something. I'm like, nah, that ain't it, Chief. That's not enough. And he just tumbles all the way down. He hits the floor right next to Tokul. And he dies, goes unconscious again.
Yeah, he goes unconscious again.
Damn, Ryan's not having a good
He's
streak.
taking a beating.
Yeah. He's not having a good week.
Yeah. Sorry, Ed. It just happens to be you like that. That wasn't intentional.
Don't worry, you're not going to be playing Ryan that much longer.
Yeah,
so.
you won't have to worry about falling 60 feet with your new character.
Huh?
Fine. Anyway.
It's a monk! It's a monk! Monks get featherfall.
So, the ship crests the horizon. The ship crests the horizon. And the hull kind of opens up. You know in, like, big planes, how the back of it just kind of opens up?
Yeah.
And you see, well, no, we don't really see it, but people kind of see this little gray, like, steel figure in the distance kind of standing over it, and the wind kind of brushing past. And then you see it start to fall. And you see magic being cast on it as it starts to enlarge into a rather large, well, not huge, but like a large creature, as this steel fortress of Steel Maiden kind of rumbles out and falls down on this dragon.
She pile drives the dragon out from the sky. That's some monk shit.
That is some monk shit. And
Aiden's next character's a monk.
Just splat onto the ground.
He's still trying to guess his class.
That or a sorcerer.
Right next to Tokul and Ryan. Tokul pulls Ryan out from underneath, and the dragon starts to kind of coalesce back into a human shape, and the human Varvoth is all like,
I kind of like imagine, you know how Big Mario, like when you get hit and he goes back to the small. That's how I imagine it.
Oh my god, yeah, true.
And there's like some heated discussion between them, and then she sends him off. And Lady Saria the whole time, as soon as she saw the ship, she's like, all right, fun's over.
She's like,
all right, fun's over. And Ty is like, fuck. No, Ty wasn't like, fuck. She was like, finally this person is here.
Is it kind of like it just feels like a motherly type of feel when that happens. It's like when a mother scolds a child.
It's like a bunch of little dogs being scared of the big dog. That's what it felt like to me.
Kind of felt like yeah, the cops are here.
Yeah. Or like, oh shit, the adults are here or something.
The authority
Yeah.
is here.
That was the vibe it gave off. Like, did we ever feel like a heavy presence? Like, you know how like sometimes in animes
presence.
they're like, oh my god, this aura's
The aura's restricting me.
it's too strong.
My eyes can't keep up with him.
Why does the gravity feel so heavy? You know what I mean?
Damn, what is this air?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I can't.
So what was
breathe.
that? Was that the impression that the party was having?
No.
What did it feel like for us?
I mean, it's not.
No,
it's not.
it means
It's not like a
whatever you-
physical, like pressure on you. But
Yeah.
there is like this sensation of holy shit, this person's kind of a big person.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
big deal, yeah.
Because as far as you guys know, she's pretty much the fist of the Prime. She's the force.
Oh,
of the Primes.
right, yeah, true.
She's the driving martial force behind Huria, pretty much. And she's what deals with the pirates on a semi-daily basis. That's why she's never around really until now. So she comes down, she talks to them, and then she talks to Ty. You guys go into the bar. Before I go into that, what do you guys think of the fight in general? Was it meh? Was it
Definitely
like,
not one I wanted to like get into at that point because it was like, oh,
Yeah, sometimes
geez.
you can't.
just
you can't help
wanted to like, lay low and like not.
Yeah, we
not
wanted
rock
to
the
keep
boat.
everything low key, have a good dinner party.
Yeah.
But no, we had to
things don't go as
we
planned.
had to get into it.
Some things don't go as planned.
We thought about it. We wanted security at one stage.
Damn, they're really party poopers.
You
They
hate him
do.
now? You hate him?
I mean, I hated them before, but now like really hate them.
I think one thing that was running through Toko's head that whole time was, what if we invited them at the beginning and they just gave us the option to say no?
I think that was like their whole gripe. There was like, oh, you didn't invite us.
Yeah.
Are you showing favor to the other primes?
Shouldn't you have invited us so we can reject your offer? Like
Yeah.
what Creed
Yeah,
did?
no, like, oh yeah, Creed and Passage. Is Passage there?
Passage
No.
was there.
Passage was there.
He was
we
there.
invited him. He wasn't that invited. He showed so much eagerness when we gave the invitation.
I remember he was like,
I'll be there.
I think Storm was like, hey, we got this dinner on. You want to come? And he's like, let me just check my schedule. And
said,
it's just
"No,
like
no, no,
blank
no, no, no,
pages.
no."
He was like, I'll be there. Isn't
He
it?
said yes to the dinner. He said no when you guys invited him to go get the Umber Hulk stuff.
Oh right.
So it's still kind of like that, where he's like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna work, Chief.
Yeah, he's just like, make dinner, go to bed, wake up, masturbate.
He
That's
got that in his calendar. Today I'm going to jerk off.
Should I fight the Elmbrook? No, maybe not another day. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
you know
another
that
day.
Wolverine picture where he's looking at a picture.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the
it's
party.
like-
It's the party. He's like, yeah. So he was there. I don't think I mentioned him much, but I just say he was around.
Anyway, they broke Snow's snowflake table. That was a good table too.
That was a good table.
That was kind of like, damn, that meant a lot to me. And I think Storm consoled Kaya over his dead, his three companions
Well, he tried to, yeah.
that got vapor. And you said a prayer for them to Angvir.
Yep.
You should write a prayer. I feel like,
Ooh, like a
can write one
slogan,
up.
like a slogan.
I
prayer.
can write one up.
yeah,
Very cool.
what is dead?
This
may
prayer
never
was
die.
prayer was sponsored by Angvir.
Oh, hold on, wait, what? That sounds like this YouTube video that we're actually.
Imagine you just
sponsored
go to
by
a
Nestle.
funeral and it's just like, Amen. This prayer was sponsored by Angvir. Join our cult today.
Use discount code Angvir.
35% off admission fee. Anyway,
Authorized by Dungeons and Dragons.
Gives him a nice little prayer. And Kaya, although accepting, he's like, well, fuck. He didn't seem happy at all, but you
Yeah.
know,
well,
people die, of course.
those were his companions.
Those were
And
his companions.
you know what? I think, not to make light of a morbid situation, he wanted to bring more people along.
Yeah.
And
Imagine if that happened.
at least the
At least
losses
all
were-
of them didn't
yeah,
die.
yeah, at least all of them, because he wanted to bring like 15 people, and we
Yes.
are only allowed like 5.
Yeah.
So it wasn't good. Wasn't good. So I think the rest of the party go back to the tavern. Snow goes upstairs because he's a bit upset, and
He went to go be edgy by himself.
Yeah, I mean, no, but it's
think-
just like he's kind of like so. What the thought behind it was like Ty was the one that said to Snow like, "Hey, let's not waste lives over this,
Yeah,
political destabilization thing."
absolutely.
And then she just kind of ate her words when
Yeah.
that's happened over like a personal thing. So he's kind of like he's a bit salty about that, and he's a bit frustrated that 3 people had to die because of her
Stupid decision.
her action, right?
Yeah.
So he went upstairs to brood, and they broke his table. They broke his snowflake table. He
Yeah,
worked hard on that.
Varvoth crushed that underfoot like
Yeah, that was,
Gardor crushed someone underfoot.
but like that table was
We got
like
crushed.
the what made his master like say, "Hey, you're ready for the next step."
Yeah.
So that was like that meant a lot to him, and then that got crushed because of what happened. Because Varvoth stepped on it when he went Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Dragon mode, So he went upstairs to brood, and then there was like some indistinct chatter outside between Ty and the Steel Matron or Maiden.
And the bitter matron is the shit. We really got to change something about that.
I mean, that's
to be
you.
honest.
That's on you. That's on you.
It's kind of set in stone now, but if I could change it, I would. Just know that.
Maybe you could have like
BM.
I'll just.
you can have like the bitter matron, but you can have like. I was gonna say Steel Sister, but that's already another thing. That's another thing.
Yeah, maybe just use her
Or
name.
Mother Steel or something like that.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mother
That
Steel's
sounds like
cool.
the person who would be in control of the Steel Sisters or something.
Ooh.
I could get under that.
Mother Steel, that's a title.
Yeah, that's the title.
That's canon now.
Like the Matriarch Steel or
canon.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe just use her name, which is, I can't remember for the life of me right now. But yeah, instead of Steel Maiden all the time. Because you guys know her, or know of her from Kragan, who had a relationship with her at
Yeah,
some
they
point.
got it on.
They got it on, and they had a kid,
But she's
which
a
is the
dragon.
aunt.
Well, we discussed this, right?
Yeah.
So
I think it's
as far as we know-
the mother's traits.
every race is interbreedable because they're all humanoid, and whatever race the child is of the mother. But like they would probably have traits of the father too,
Because
right?
your aunt was fucking pretty big.
But like
Like, a lot.
predominantly, it would be the mother race.
The race would be, yeah.
It wouldn't have this disgusting half-human scale.
That'd be weird, yeah. I don't know. I
That'd be
wouldn't be able
really
to do
weird.
that.
But I think
have to
like
work out
that
the stats and
that,
shit.
that would
Ugh.
be cool, but like it would get complicated. Like, what if she breeds with like a half elf? Then what the hell?
Do you
would
think
that
like
becomes?
you know how in like they say on Earth, like in like 100 years everyone will just be brown or some shit? Like,
Oh yeah,
how-
everyone becomes
everyone would just
beige.
become this
Yeah.
weird like human-esque elf scaly thing,
Yeah, it's possible, but
except in Ubania, where everyone's
Except
like pure human still.
even
Right.
I think Ubanians have a bit of diversity to them, like because they're a bit like us. Like they've got like the iron, they've got like the blonde hair, blue eye,
there's
kind of like.
a brownish sect.
And then
as
you
well.
have like brown haired guys and black haired guys, and but they're all kind of like the same ethnic race.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a little bit of chatter outside, and you guys have your own little discussion inside the tavern. You're like, "Oh shit, some stuff went down." I don't really remember what you guys said in there. Do you guys remember?
We were kind of just like discussing things.
Just chilling.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Ty goes in to apologize to the party.
Yes. She was very heated at the time, and she finally cools down, and she apologizes to the party, and I think everyone just goes to bed after that.
Mm-hmm.
They go to a nice restful 8-hour sleep, and in the morning, Snow comes in.
Yeah.
Where Ty is just kind of poring over these plans. She's got the plans of the. Oh wait, Ty shows them the key of the
Right, because she snagged the key of
what's it called?
Barbos.
What's the place called? The
Casino.
Dragon Sword. Dragon
That's it,
Sword.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then next morning, Snow comes up to her, and what does Snow say? You fucked up.
Yeah, basically that's a
fucked up.
summary of it, but basically he's like, I hope you realize that what your actions have cause, and I think he was trying to call back to like,
Yeah.
remember what you stand for, and think about what you did last
Yeah.
night,
Yeah, I think this was always, maybe not always, but this was always coming to a head. Because throughout the 3 months, I continuously described Ty as becoming more and more, like, off kilter, like, obsessed almost with, like, what's going on. and eventually she was gonna break at some point. This was kind of her breaking point, where she's like, "Fuck it, this time I've had enough with this bitch."
Yeah.
This bitch, and she just she fucks up. She's
Yeah.
I'd like to think of her as a very human-ish character, like emotion-wise.
I think I like that.
Yeah, I don't want to see her as some perfect chick, to be honest. I think that's a little boring, and like one-dimensional at least.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is not perfect, and I think it's good because I've got some dirt on her now.
Here
I
we
think
go.
We all did, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, given the the character that Tokyo is now, he kind of thought he saw a little bit of himself with Tai, because it was really scary to see it. Like his actions, made her actions made the entire party suffer, including other people around her. Yeah, so his part, the party, I just feel as if when that all happened and when that all went down, Tokyo kind of realized, maybe I should forgive her, because if I did that, I would want that forgiveness too. But how am I going to repent for this? And I remember Storm calling out Tokyo, saying, "Oh, well, she still has to give the apology. Why are you forgiving her now, when she just said she wants to apologize?" So that was a little bit of a soft spot for Tokyo, because he was I want to be forgiven too. How else can I find forgiveness if I can't forgive other people?
Ooh.
So I was
That's kind of a neat character arc.
I was like, oh god, it's really taking Tokyo to a really good peak in his character development. And I don't want to make it all about Tokyo, but that's how it is. Obviously, since I'm here, I'm gonna give you guys the perception of what Tokyo is thinking and what he's feeling.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking about the character arc of Snow, and he's kind of gone through a sort of redemption, because he used to be quite
timid,
sociopathic,
timid
at the start, and then he kind of turned around. But I think Snow is still going through stuff, and he's not at the end of his journey yet. And I think there's definitely going to be some times where his resolve isn't really as strong sometimes, especially being all virtuous and helping the people. I think there might be a time where Snow might think that's not always the right thing to do, kind of the if you want to save one person to save many, would you make the sacrifice? And I think there'll be times where Snow's he'll kind of fall back to his and justifies the means kind of perception. And I think Snow's definitely still has that, right? He still has that kind of mentality where it's we got to do what we can in order to reach our goal, no matter what it takes. So, and I think that might come to a head, when he encounters the prince or something like that.
Yeah, there'll be a moment where it's it's either this way or that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a huge decision.
And either way, there might be a fissure in the party because they don't agree with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
That's for much later on. Much later on, maybe.
Anyway, that was the end of the session.
Yep. And I think we should call it there. I had some stuff I wanted to talk about, but we can save it for another session, I think. For
we can keep going.
I think this one might go for a while. That's the problem.
Sure.
I'd like to keep this one shorter and keep the fresh takes on racism and D&D. We can talk about it next time.
Yeah, okay. We've been trying to fit in this thing where this guy wrote an essay about how Tolkien based his orcs off of a distorted perception of Mongols, and how that bled into D&D, and people using D&D as a
scapegoat.
An instrument for purporting their racism.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that next time.
Sneak peek.
This has been episode 20 of Far Kingdoms with Matt, Albert, and Kevin. Join us next time for episode 21.
Bye.
Bye.
Jana!
Ah.